Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm Gabe Michael. I am the SVP and Group Executive Producer of AI at Edelman. And that is a very long title. But really, it means that I've been tasked with bringing in AI tools to a large agency and production company. And I basically vet AI tools, teach teams how to use creative AI tools, and then work within governance within our agency of how we're going to do tool rollout, what's allowed, and like how we think about how to do things in a rights managed way. And for I've been before this, I was a creator for over about 20 years. And some things about being a creator that people don't know about is that a good amount of the time is really only about 20% of your time is spent on the creative idea, and then 80% of your time is doing the things that aren't fun, the small tasks, the running the business, right? But within the last few years, working with a lot of these AI tools has completely flipped that ratio for me and a lot of other people that I've talked to. And it's allowed me and countless others to look and view this technology as a creative accelerant, right? And this is where something that I've found over the last few years using these tools is that taste is truly the only thing that doesn't scale. And my obsession with finding that line between where the tool ends and where the human begins. And we have some amazing people on this panel with me today. And I'm going to let each one go and introduce themselves for really quickly. But first, I just did a very small prompted LLM search on each of you, and said, I said put out a 1 minute or a one sentence summary of you, and I just said your name and what your title was. So we're going to see what that hallucination is, and then you guys can correct it from there. So Matt, for you, your LLM hallucination was a a high bandwidth content engine optimized for demystifying complexity. Primary functions include scanning 2,000 plus tools a week and translating text speak into human usable creative workflows. This is Matt Wolfe, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say that's actually pretty accurate. I don't think I scan 2,000 tools a week, maybe closer to 200, but yeah, that's pretty accurate. So I also have a YouTube channel where I try to demystify AI. I share all of the latest news that's going on in the world of AI. I try to make tutorials that break down how to use all the latest AI tools. I also run a site called Future Tools. This is why I review so many tools, is I curate all of the coolest AI tools that I come across on Future Tools. I have an AI newsletter, and I also co-host a podcast called The Next Wave, where I interview thought leaders and experts in the AI space. So that's pretty much what I do in a nutshell.
Awesome. And I've been a fan of yours and watched the channel for a very long time, pre-AI. So it's very nice to meet you. And then next we have Edelman, a multimodal narrative processor optimized for maximum creative throughput. Primary functions include re-engineering the post-production value chain and deploying autonomous video agents to translate complex human storytelling into a viral-ready digital asset.
That sounds cooler than my current job, but yeah. Well, my version of what I do is I'm currently the head of product for Agent Opus within OpusClip. OpusClip is the #1 AI video clipping tool that allows you to repurpose your long-form content into short-form viral videos with one click. The goal of the things I'm trying to build is always to make things so much easier for creators and really taking the burden out of the things that they don't want to do and really allow them to focus on doing things that they enjoy, such as creating videos. Before OpusClip, I also worked at TikTok for almost 5 years, where I focused on shipping different creator tools, creator programs like Creator Rewards program, to make sure that creators are not only enjoying and distributing their content, but also being rewarded for it. So yeah, I think I've worked on creator tools for quite a few years, and I really enjoy my space here. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So working in the creative or in the creator space and the tool space is a really interesting combination, right? And it kind of brings up a little bit of, what is an AI tool as an enabler versus something that can help somebody, right? Where does the automation end and where does the creativity kind of begin? So how do you think that AI can help creators move at speed and scale without them burning out?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the biggest pain points creators tell me, even when I was at TikTok, was that they're just burned out. They don't have time to create one idea, scale it across 5 different platforms that have different content formats, and have to post it on a daily basis. So it is a lot of work for them, even though they have one original idea, but they just have to film it multiple times. Back at TikTok, I remember creators tell me that they have multiple cameras, so then they can ensure that they're filming in different formats as well. So the goal here is just really building tools, including OpusClip, to allow users to scale their content at ease with as few clicks as possible. I remember talking to some creators where they tell me, well, I spent so long filming a podcast clip, and by the time when I publish it on Spotify, I'm already tired. I don't have time to post it on LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. So what we did is we built a tool that automatically detects whenever they have a new podcast episode. We just automatically clip it and post it for them, so they don't have to do any of the labor work of repurposing and posting across 5 different platforms. Yeah, the goal really here is to figure out where are the parts that they don't like and where are the parts that are burning out for them, and then finding a way to scale that automatically.
Awesome. And then within these kind of automations and workflows, where does the person's voice fit in? Where can they, is there a point where, I really hate the term human in the loop, because the machines don't actually come up with the concepts. Yeah. We drive all the thought, right? But like, where's that point within your process that the creator can have their say or verify and make sure that it's authentically them?
Yeah, I mean, with OpusClip, we're only clipping the content that you're creating, right? So the AI can't tell a joke that you didn't tell. So filming the first part of the video, your long form content or whatever content that you initially created, is still a really important step on ensuring your taste and your creativity. So I wouldn't not focus on that and only rely on AI to tell the story better. So I think the initial video is still so important. And there are a lot of tools that allow you to tell your brand in an authentic way and your personal way. Like, for example, setting up brand templates so that your styles are consistent across all your clips. You can set up different caption algorithms so that the caption is actually using the tone that you like to mention. So there's a lot of ways to personalize your content as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And Matt, you're obviously a creator. You create long form content. You create all sorts of content. How it's similar question to you, or same question. What are you using to not to augment your creativity, but to augment your speed and your scale?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm using a ton of tools all the time. I'm also constantly experimenting with new tools all the time. We actually do use OpusClip to help clip a lot of our videos. In fact, I was telling them when we were in the sort of backstage area that I was, for a long time, making short form content where we were doing really high polished short form content. They were scripting it. We were finding good B-roll for it, very highly produced short form content. And then we were also taking some clips from my long form content using Opus and throwing those on shorts 100% of the time. The clips were the ones that were outperforming. But outside of something like OpusClip, we're using, so for our thumbnail for creation for YouTube, we use Nano Banana on every single thumbnail that we create now. We still actually have a thumbnail designer who still is the creative brain behind the thumbnails, who still watches the videos and figures out what is the hook, what is the angle, what is the thing that's going to get people interested, concepts the idea, and then when they run into like a roadblock or they can't find that exact stock image or whatever for that image, Nano Banana is there for us. And so we love Nano Banana. You've got 11 Labs. I'm a big fan of 11 Labs as well. This has happened in some of our scripted ads before, where I'll record the whole ad and then we'll send it to the sponsor to approve it, and they'll say, "Hey, I don't really like how you said these 2 words here. Could you replace it with these 2 words?" Okay, no problem. We jump into 11 Labs, type in those 2 words, spit it out, and replace it. Yeah. I don't even need to be in the loop anymore. My producer can go and actually get the audio and replace it without even coming to me anymore. That's been really cool. Another avenue that I've really, really enjoyed traveling down lately is the quote unquote vibe coding sort of thing, right? Finding little bottlenecks in my creative process, finding bottlenecks in my video ideation process, things like that. And then going to something like Claude Code and saying, "Hey, here's a problem I'm running into. Help me write a little script that solves this." And we've made all sorts of little scripts that solve problems for us. One of the things we do now is when I do record a short form video, I'll actually take that short form video, drag and drop it into like a little Python script that I coded up in about 15 minutes, and it transcribes the whole thing for me, and then sends it over to Claude for me, and then Claude will help me come up with titles and hooks and sometimes even intros for that video, and just so many different little like automation processes that we're constantly finding. Whenever we find a new bottleneck, my first thought is, how do I use sort of AI or some sort of automation so this bottleneck never appears again?
Right. So it's automation, and it's always usually replaced with people, process, or tools, right? And
Right.
now we have these tools that can think, which make it all the more easier for us, right? And living in and working in the creative sphere, at the agency that I'm at, we see a big question is always cost or time savings, all of these things that are both important to quantify or qualify, and then but also are very difficult to do at the same time. But our answer is always that the world is expecting more of us, especially when you're a content creator. Like, you have to have the best, and you have to be able to put out, and you have to have that type of scale. So it's just for us and for me, for my personal work, is where does that line end, and where does the creativity begin? And I firmly believe that automation is important, not only to take things off your plate, but also to or I guess automation is a form of creativity in itself, right? Figuring out the process for how you tell whatever type of story it is, or create the type of content that you create, right?
Yeah.
And so, Matt, I'm just going to stick with you for this next one here. So you've been a creator since what, 2009, 2010?
2009, yep.
Yeah. So, and that was before the AI boom.
Yep.
Right. And so I just mentioned, I don't like human in the loop, but I'm going to go back to that. So you've always said that human in the loop content will always win because people connect with humans, and not models. So how do you personally decide which part of your YouTube process stays human and which part is 100% automated?
Well, I mean, 100% of the ideas for our videos is always from me and my producer, Dave, who's standing over there. So all of the ideas for videos are always us. We pretty much brainstorm every single video, every single talking point. We outline the videos. We pretty much design the videos ourselves. It's still us doing all of that. Most of where AI comes into play is when we just want to sort of fine tune and optimize our speaking points, right? I might take my outline, throw it into Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever your model of choice is, and have it sort of refine it. Are there any talking points I should be talking about in this video that maybe I missed? I love to get the counter arguments. If I'm sitting there sort of sharing my opinion, I love to go to Claude or ChatGPT and say, hey, give me the counter arguments to this. Like, what are the mean comments in the comment sections going to say about this video, right? Like, I want to preempt that stuff and think about what people are going to think about what I'm saying, so that maybe I can add in little, disclaimers or, little extra talking points to sort of get ahead of that kind of stuff.
Right. That's smart. Do you use the same?
Oh, well, actually, I've talked to a lot of creators, and I feel that different creators struggle with different problems. So some creators tell me they have decision fatigue, and they don't know which video idea that they should use. So they have 10 ideas, but which one do they exactly film? So then they actually need some tools to help them ideate and fine tune their ideas. And then there are creators that says, well, I already know exactly what I'm going to make, but I just don't have time to edit. So I think that 20-80% really differs depending on the creator that you talk to. So, and that's why there's so many tools specifically designed for ideating, tools designed for editing, etc. I think it depends on the creator, and that's why there's so many tools out there. Yeah.
That's right. So speaking of that, what, in your opinion, is the most underrated AI tool?
That's a great question.
It could be one that you use in your daily workflow, or one that you see creators using on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think maybe one of my favorite AI tools is to use AI Studio or Notebook LM to help me do a lot of research. So I think a lot of the good ideas can only work well if you feed it with enough information and you do the right research to make it really, really interesting. And A lot of times people spend a lot of time editing the clip and making sure that the effects are perfect, the B-rolls are great. But it really starts with that idea. And I think spending a lot of time researching and really ideate and really making sure your script has those information and really tell the story well is something that I think is a little bit underrated. Most people tell me that they spend more time editing than that they do on researching. Yeah.
Yeah. And Matt, you?
Yeah, I mean, Notebook LM is a great one. I love Notebook LM. If you're not familiar, it's a tool where you can actually sort of fill in a bunch of information, and then when you ask it questions, it's only going to use the information that you gave it, right? And it also does some cool stuff like generate podcasts, generate infographics and mind maps and slides, and that's a really, really cool tool. I love that one. I also use AI as part of my research phase. I use a tool called Feedly, which actually has AI built into it. Think of it like a Google Alerts, but just at a next level. I plug in, like, these are the topics I want to stay informed in, and it actually sort of scours the internet for me and brings articles to my attention. And then it's got a button where I can say, I want more like this or less like this. And so over time, you fine tune it. And so that's actually like my research secret weapon is this Feedly tool. Another tool I absolutely love, but it's a little more in the weeds, like the learning curve's a little steeper, is a tool called N8N, which is like this automation workflow builder where, maybe you post a tweet and it'll take that tweet and it'll convert it into a script for a short form, and it'll convert it into a blog post for you, and it'll convert it into something that works as an Instagram post. And you could just sort of string together all of these nodes and build these really, really cool automations. In fact, I built an automation recently using N8N where I can speak into my phone just using just the voice recorder app on my iPhone. And it'll actually take that audio, and then using N8N, it will transcribe the audio. It will actually run it through Gemini and say, convert this into a blog post that reads like a blog post and not like a transcript, add bullet points, add subheadlines, do all of that stuff. And then once that blog post is done, it moves on to another node, and it basically says, now generate a featured image for this blog post. And it will generate a featured image using Nano Banana. And it just goes through all of this process. And all I do is speak into my phone, and the output is a fully polished, ready to publish blog post. Now, it stays in a draft. I want to go and read it before it goes live, but it gets all the way up to the point of being a draft published in WordPress. I review it, hit submit, and the blog post is live. So something like N8N is a really, really, really cool thing if you want to take the time to sort of watch the YouTube videos and learn it.
N8N is amazing, and you can do a lot of things with the visual tools. Just on the filmmaking side, storyboard with it. You can really break out your process. What I found interesting is that with using all these tools, whether it's automated or node based or whatever, is that you are the one still dictating the process, right? So you're the CEO of your creative empire. You're telling whether it's a person, whether it could be your COO or whoever's running the company, what you want to happen, and then it kind of goes down the chain of command. So you're essentially doing the same thing, but you're replacing, unfortunately, people with tools, right? But that's always the argument, right? It's like, people are gonna lose jobs, things like that. But what I found in my experience, especially working with like extremely small teams, is that maybe there was never going to be a job there to begin with, and all you're doing is now being able to amplify you and yourself as the creator. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, this was all stuff I was doing manually. So I'm replacing myself in these scenarios so that I can be more efficient and use my time more wisely, right? I want my time to be in research, on phone calls, getting demos, playing with the tools, and actually, being on camera, recording videos. Anything that doesn't fall in one of those categories, I'm either figuring out how to hire somebody to help me do it or automate it. And the funny thing is, like, the deeper I've gotten into AI and the more I learned, the more people I've actually hired. So like my business has grown, and I've actually brought on more and more and more and more people as I've learned more about AI. So it's pretty counterintuitive to what the sort of narrative is right now.
Yeah, I want to add to it. Most of the creators that we serve, 99% of creators cannot hire a full team to help them. They don't have the budget to hire an editor, a producer, or a talent manager, right? So AI is really here to help the small creators. And they might not even be creators. They might be like a dental clinic that's trying to make videos on TikTok and trying to blow up and get more customers. these people don't have the creative team, so they actually need AI to help them offload this content work so they can actually focus on doing whatever they need to do on a regular day. So
Yeah, I've heard the term before, cognitive offloading, and it just has stuck with me. It's like the white space problem, where you're using it to fill in a lot of the gaps, or just to get it started, get it on paper, right? It's like dictating to an assistant or something like that, right? But as we kind of move towards everybody having these tools, we run the risk of, especially with a lot of the visual AI tools, people have said that there's the risk of sameness, right? Sameness in output, sameness in video generation, sameness in this, which I understand the thought of that, but I'd like your perspective on how somebody can, in this world where everybody has the same opportunity, has similar tools to use, how can you break out, from that mold, from what the stock output that the LLM or the visual, image generator gives you, and make it your own?
Yeah, I think, the term AI slop has gotten thrown around a lot, right? Like, I think slop was the word of the year by Webster's Dictionary for 2025. And to be honest, there was a lot of slop before AI. There was a lot of people just cranking out low quality content before AI ever existed. Now, this is an accelerant for that as well. But, throughout the history of the internet, the cream has always risen to the top. And I still think that's going to be the case. But I also think now is probably the best time to sort of be a face on the internet, be a real person, be that, be that trusted, I'm real, I'm not an AI, right? And that's getting harder and harder to do. I don't know how many times I get comments on my video. I'm like, Matt, you're an AI, aren't you? But I think that is becoming more and more valuable, is to actually put your face on camera. Like, I don't know how many times I'm seeing on YouTube these days, like, how to make 10 grand a month with faceless channels and stuff like that. And I hate to break it to you, that's not going to work for most people, because if you're just trying to crank out low quality slop, it's going to continue to, fall to the bottom of the pile, just like it always has before AI existed.
Yeah, on automation, and that was the big thing that was removed. And I remember when there was this whole false information going around where it's like, oh, Google's going to get rid of all AI content. It's like, they have VO3. Why would they get rid of AI content on their platform? They want more of it, but they want people to use it in a creative way, as B-roll. You can now put yourself into an action movie if you wanted to. Does it completely hold up against the blockbusters of the world? Maybe not on a big screen, but on a small screen, it's pretty good today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aiden?
yeah, I think the last mile of the video creation process is equally important, right? So AI can help you save time for that 80% where there's a lot of manual work. But which image do you use, which B-roll, which caption you ultimately decide to pick will help you dictate and help you rise between the sameness, and your execution of that idea is equally important. Yeah.
Execution, I think, is going to be the key, right? Right. Okay, so we only have just a few minutes left. But as we, we're at the start of 2026, which feels weird saying that out loud. But what does your crystal ball say for the AI tool space and in creativity for this year?
Yeah, I don't know if we really need a crystal ball. We're here at CES. We're seeing the future while we're here right now. Wandering around the CES hall, we're seeing a lot of glasses, right? I could look around right here and point out 3 glasses companies from this view right here, right? So we're going to see probably more and more wearables where they're baking in AI, where they're, maybe you have like little heads-up displays. I think that's going to really rise. If you go over to the central hall, the humanoid robots are everywhere, right? They're swarming that hall right now. I think, that embodied AI, that humanoid robot form factor is getting more popular. We're going to see that more and more. But also I think if you're realizing that you're using AI, a lot of times it means the AI's not working. I think what a lot of these companies want is for the AI to sort of fall behind the scenes, and you're not even realizing you're using AI. Like, you shouldn't be actually like prompting stuff into existence. You should, be using a tool, and then you get the outcome you want. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I think ideally, this is what I hope the companies do, is they pull the AI more and more behind the scenes, so that the AI is the more the plumbing than the the sort of user interface.
Yeah, software. Ada?
For me, I feel that last year was really a huge surge of AI tools that are like little co-pilots for you. There's an AI tool that you use to help you write a script. There's an AI tool for you to generate a voiceover. I actually think that there will be more consolidation of these AI tools, and these AI tools will move closer to AI agents that can handle multiple workflows at the same time. So yeah, I think adding to Matt's point, I believe that these AI agents will allow these AI tools to be happening in the background and doing multiple things at once and iterating itself without you having to manually intervene and say, no, this is a terrible caption, please do it again. So I think that consolidation of AI tools and AI shifting into AI agents that do multiple things at once will be a big change for 2026.
That's great. And we've already seen this from my crystal ball. It's already happened. We have Higgsfield Cinema Studio. We have some other major corporations coming out with a dashboard for AI filmmaking, for AI content creation, right? And for this year, I see that the prompts are no longer going to matter. Prompting is always been about control, right? Prompting is always been about how you tell the model in natural language how you want something to go. But we've seen this last year where we have JSON prompting it's more in line with what a machine can see, and now we're putting software layers on top of what these models are capable of, and we're starting to get predictable with what is possible. Choosing a camera, choosing a lens, dropping in a character, whether that's a fictional character, yourself or somebody else. And so I see that to continue to go and to be the norm, and the models themselves to be not less valuable, but less in the forefront as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There was this narrative a couple years ago where the skill everybody should be learning is prompt engineering. You should be learning to be a prompt engineer. And I've always sort of said, I don't think these companies really want you to have to be an engineer to use these tools. Like, I don't think prompt engineering is the thing. Now, I do think the skill of prompt engineering is valuable, but I think it's valuable to the people that are building the tools and not to the general consumers that are using the front end user interfaces.
It's like setting up the automation. It's setting up it's being your director of photography in a sense, right? It's giving you the direction that you need to execute on that vision and taking away the hassle really of having to do that. And any final thoughts, Ada?
No, I think Matt, you said it really well. I mean, I agree with maybe a reduction of prompt engineering required in the future as these models get better. The prompt understanding of these models will get better too, right? So then they will be able to understand what exactly you mean. And my goal is always, how can I execute exactly what the creators want with minimum amount of prompts that they give me? How can I guess what they want to do? That's what the application layers are trying to do, is to reduce that barrier.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining our session. And Matt and Ada, thank you so much for the conversation. Really appreciate it. And I hope everybody else enjoys the rest of your day at CES.
Thank you.